We've all been there, haven't we? That moment. Maybe you're looking in the mirror or just quiet for a second. You ask, who am I? Really?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so simple, but wow, it can get complex fast.
It really can.
So today we're doing a deep dive into this, drawing from an ER7 podcast episode called Who Am I Really?
Mm-hmm.
Getting Lost While Finding Ourselves.
A great source for this topic.
Yeah, and our aim is really just to pull out the core ideas, How does this sense of self even start, and how does it, change?
It's such a fundamental question. And what's really interesting, something the ER7 podcast highlights right away, is how much of our first understanding of ourselves isn't internal. It comes from outside.
Right, like things people said to us as kids.
Exactly. Think about those labels. Oh, you're such a good boy, or she's the smart one, or you're always so happy. Psychologists sometimes call this the looking glass self.
Looking glass self.
Yeah, like we see ourselves reflected in how others see us. And those early ideas, they can really imprint on us, shape our self-concept deeply.
Wow, imprint. And it feels like those comments, they aren't just comments, are they? The podcast uses this metaphor. Armor.
Yes, armor. We sort of wear these labels. Maybe it feels safe, or it's just what people expect from us,
Yeah. But then what happens when that armor, doesn't fit anymore? When it starts to feel, tight?
Ah, that tightness. That's precisely where this idea of getting lost comes in. And the ER7 episode argues it's really relevant here.
Getting lost sounds a bit scary.
It can feel that way, but the idea is that these times when we feel adrift, maybe we're in a totally new situation, or even just sitting quietly without, our phones buzzing.
Without distraction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those moments can actually be super valuable for, genuine self-discovery. Feeling a bit lost can lower our defenses.
Okay.
Making us more open maybe to questioning things we always believed or exploring parts of ourselves we hadn't considered. It's like a deconstruction phase.
Before you can rebuild something new.
Kind of, yeah. And the podcast asks this really piercing question. Can you sit with yourself and feel at peace?
Ugh. That hits home, doesn't it? I know I sometimes just automatically reach for something to fill the quiet.
We all do sometimes.
So thinking about that armor idea, maybe feeling lost is just realizing the armor doesn't fit, or it's actually holding you back from who you really are.
That's a great way to put it. And the ER7 discussion really stresses that identity isn't this fixed, rigid thing. It's fluid. It changes.
Okay, so it evolves.
But, and this is a key point they raise, are we changing because we genuinely want to deep down? Or is it more about external pressure, what we think we should be?
Right. That's a crucial difference. How do you even figure that out?
Well, the podcast suggests some really good questions to ask yourself, kind of like tools for self-reflection.
Okay, like what?
The first one is this goal mine or someone else's?
So why am I actually chasing this thing? Is it truly my ambition, or am I doing it for, my parents' society?
Exactly. It forces you to check your motivations. Then the second one is this relationship helping me grow?
And that's not just romantic relationships, right? It could be friendships, family.
Absolutely. Any significant connection. Are the people around you supporting your authentic growth, or are they maybe consciously or not holding you back?
Okay, that makes sense. And the last one?
The last one's pretty profound. Is this life truly mine?
Wow, heavy.
Yeah. It's about ownership, isn't it? Are your choices, big and small, lining up with what you genuinely value, what you aspire to be?
Those are powerful. They really force you to look inward, don't they, to see if you're living authentically?
Definitely.
So wrapping this up, it feels like the ER7 podcast offers a pretty hopeful message, actually. It sort of reframes feeling lost. It's not necessarily failure. It could be, a sign of progress almost.
Yeah.
A necessary step on the journey.
Yes, exactly. The closing thought is really comforting, I think. Something like, don't be afraid to lose your way. Sometimes the best version of you is found out there in the unknown.
Like that uncertainty can actually be where real growth happens.
Precisely. A fertile ground for discovering a more authentic self.
And it brings us right back to that armor idea we started with. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How might those old labels, the identities we just sort of absorbed years ago, still be subtly, blocking you?
Yeah. Preventing you from embracing who you are now, or even who you might become.
Exactly. Definitely something to mull over.